When I was 4 years old, I decided that I didn't want to be a human anymore. I wanted to be a black and tan coonhound. So, if I wanted to tell the puppy dogs that there was a rabbit in the field, I couldn't say, "Hey, there's a rabbit." I had to say it like this. And they would go chase it.
Renee Rainey has spent her life imagining, from speaking coon dog to communicating with carnivores.
Some dryads need a wee bit more respect than others because they tend to be quite temperamental. These are the spirits that inhabit carnivorous plants. The first dryad I encountered was the spirit of an oak leaf hydrangea bush growing near the edge of my grandfather's orchard. I love to walk in the moonlight and look around at the world because everything looks so different by moonlight.
Renee says every moment in nature is a once-upon-a-time moment, which may be why her writing so easily connects the natural world to the world of make-believe.
Once I had the misfortune to observe a boy tormenting a frog in the river by poking it with a stick. Before I could intervene on behalf of the frog, one of the protected carnivorous pitcher plants growing nearby lifted its roots from the sandy soil, stalked over to stand behind the boy, dropped its mouth or pitcher-shaped leaf over the boy's head, and sucked him in like a spaghetti noodle. I gasped with surprise, and the plant made a little growl, shivered, and spit the boy's tennis shoes onto the riverbank, and returned to its original spot on the shore. A few hours later, the boy washed up on the sandy bank downstream. He was barefoot but unharmed and said he would never poke a frog or a living creature with a stick ever, ever, ever again. To this day, when I hike along the river and see unclaimed shoes scattered along the banks, I remember how this ferocious little plant taught a naughty little boy an important lesson.
Today, Renee has come to teach some of her magical lessons at DeSoto State Park.
This program's a wonderful opportunity for folks to get outside and be comfortable in nature and learn about the plants and the animals that live at the state park.
Many of the lessons are captured in Renee's new book.
Yes, I have written a book called Hairy, Scary, but Mostly Merry Fairies. And it is a true account of the fairy stories that I've gathered throughout my life. And basically, it's a tool for curing nature deficit disorder through imagination, creativity, and outdoor play. And what we're doing today at the park, which is a nature observation through fairy houses. A nature observation through fairy houses is a program that I began when I was about 4 years old, teaching the milk customers' children at my grandfather's dairy farm how to see nature in a different way. The fairy houses are an artistic creation, and each one is very different. Just as different as your thumbprint is from someone else's, your fairy house can be that unique. But it's a window into nature, and it creates a fearlessness for kids to get down on their knees and play under a tree and not be afraid of the creeping, crawling things that might be there. It's a rather sneaky way to bring children, to lure children out of their houses and out of that comfort zone with technology back to nature. I'll begin with the storytelling, and so from my new books, I'll tell them a few of my true experiences with the fairies, and then we'll take a unnatural trail hike. I've hidden certain objects along this trail, and the children have to look up and down and around and see what they can find on this trail to hone their observation skills. We'll figure out who saw the most, and then we'll all gather up again and we'll build our balanced structure fairy houses, pretending that we're just about the size of our pointy finger. What would we want? Where would we want to live? What would we need? Food, water, shelter, and how would we want to protect it? I hope to unlock their imagination and just let them be completely free and creative to play in the roots of these trees in this beautiful park. But second to that is a wellness factor. Just 30 minutes outside can make someone lose their stress, blood pressure goes down.